Good Thursday morning. I just got back from saying Mass at St. Mark's, so it's now 7:30. I started these at 3 o'clock this morning or 3:30. Anyway, I just got back from church. It's a really stormy day out here, and so there was only 10 people at Mass this morning. Anyway, they were a core of the faithful were there today. I don't blame them for not coming. Anyway, it's just crummy out. It's a crummy day. Anyway, today is the feast of the apostles, Titus and Timothy. And I always think of Timothy, okay? Today is January 26th on the church calendar. And it's a favorite feast for me. Paradoxically, I don't think about Timothy. It's nothing. I don't think anybody does. The scriptural indications are very thin. But Timothy means a lot to me because prior to the amalgamation of the three parishes, my parish was St. Timothy's, 816 Union Road. And I drove here in 1971. And I'd say next to my PhD and my post-ordination, okay, not prior, but post-ordination, I think my PhD, SLU, St. Louis University, my PhD, that is, in pursuit of the PhD, and my career that emerged from that, from SLU. I wouldn't be back here if it wasn't for SLU. I came back in 89, okay? My debt to SLU is unpayable. But so is my debt to St. Timmy's, we call it. And it fit it perfectly. The name St. Timothy's indicated Timmy's. We didn't call it St. Timothy's, we call it Timmy's. And I met the people who have really become an ingredient, a personal element in my faith journey. Wow, that sounds pious. But my ministry at St. Tim's, it was intense from 71 to 76, but I never lost track of it because of my friends here, especially Junie and Bill and her family. But Dick and Bar Heinrichs and others, many of whom are dead. Dick is dead. Dick Heinrichs is dead. He died 20-something years ago, 22 years ago. Junie is dead 12, 13 years. Bill, 6 years. Ange, 22 years, 24 years. Just so many people. But they were the people of the 70s for me. And I came back to be with them. And I came back monthly from Louisville. I drive in. I put a ton of miles on my car, my truck. I came in at St. Tim's and I helped out at the parish when I came in. At the same time, I was with my friends who became the extension of my family. I had my Passionist family in Louisville. I had, in a deeper sense, my family of friends here in St. Louis. And they were intimate friends. They were ingredient in my narrative. And it's simply the truth. So St. Timothy's is the simple, it's even the name Timmy suggests small but important. In other words, you wouldn't think of the magnitude of a St. Paul or a St. Peter, but Timmy's is, to me, better because it's the little people of God, the people of the parish. And I've been back since 89. I don't live there, but I help out every day. Just came back from St. Mark's, okay? Which is St. Tim's, St. Mark's. I identify with it that way. And I think, what is a surprisingly good thing that was given to me providentially to serve now 5 generations of people in the parish. 5. I knew the founding families at St. Tim's, and it would have been similar to St. Mark's and Precious Blood, or Mary Queen and Precious Blood that became St. Mark's. You go back, I knew the founding families, the families that first came from South St. Louis and formed the Union Road parishes, okay? But principally I knew the ones at Timmy's, of course. And then it was June and Bill's generation. And then it was the next generation and the next. And now I not only have the grandchildren, the great-grandchildren, the great-great-grandchildren of those families. And plus many who have no connection other than the faith in the parish, meaning they don't have a linear connection. What an incredible privilege for somebody like me who had no official Episcopal commitment to St. Tim's or St. Mark's. I was there to get a roof over my head and a bed to sleep on and a meals to eat. That's what I did when I came in 71 because I wanted a place to stay and have some form of ministerial life, minimally, and go to get my doctoral degree, you see? And yet it became the part of my very heart and soul. I remember the first day I was here, the first night I was here, full day. Father Cronin was the pastor, Joe Cronin, yeah. And he said to me, there's nothing for you in the rectory. Now I'm used to monasticism where everything is internal. He said, go out and make friends with the parishioners. So I went out on a ball field and there were kids playing ball. They were playing soccer, okay? And one fellow walked up to me and he says, hi, I'm Dick Heinrichs. I never forgot that. I became friends with the Heinrichs. And the kids that were playing soccer, some became all-American soccer players, some played pro ball. I remember when I was in Louisville watching every end of a soccer game. I never watched soccer. I don't know the sport. Okay, anyway, it was the last minutes of the game, and the MVP of the game was the goalie. His name was Bursick. They were from St. Tim's. I knew the Bursicks. You see, I knew him as a kid. Isn't that something? High school kid. Yeah. See? And they've been ever since part of my life. You can't tell the Vitali story without telling the Timmy story. And the Slew story. And then, of course, without a doubt, the Passionate story and the Vitali story. These are ingredients within the narrative of my life. And so when I see the Feast of Timothy and Titus, I don't know anything about Titus. But when I think of St. Timothy, small potatoes, okay? But so was the parish, small potatoes, but it was big potatoes to me. It was a place I found a pastoral home, 5 generations worth. One of the greatest singular gifts God gave me. Religiously speaking, it was the Passionists and St. Tim's. I've been connected here 51 years now, 52 years come this summer. Drove in my little Volkswagen. Imagine a little green thing. I got here. My classmate Jim Barry drove with me, and his cousin was at Slough. So he came for a couple of days, and I can remember thinking, I'm here for a couple of days. And I wasn't here for a few weeks, and then gradually it grew into the parish. But the parish accepted me. And they took me as I was. They didn't ask me to be different. And they've been accepting me ever since. As I said to my friend Sarah, freely loved, freely given, freely accepted. And I loved them freely, and they loved me in return freely. So my life story, especially my pastoral life story, is inseparable from the story of St. Tim's, St. Mark's. When I see the Feast of St. Tim's, St. Timothy and Titus, I don't think about Titus again. I think of Timmy's. How can I miss a colossal gift in my life, a faith gift in my life? So that even though I had no interest in parochial ministry, I spent 50 years part-time with 5 generations. This is not what I had no desire ever to be a parochial priest or parish priest or nothing. I had no use for it, actually. I didn't see any value in it for me. I was a snob. I wanted to be just an academic and a specialist, okay? And I gave my heart to St. Tim's because they gave their heart to me. And I found holiness and goodness in the ordinariness of the people of God. They were spectacularly, ordinarily holy. By the way they raised their kids and slugged it out every day going to work. I saw what the church is. They taught me what the church was. It wasn't the elite scholars alone or religious order guys. It was the simple people of God who raised their families in the faith and were faithful to each other. Roughly speaking, faithful. Actively faithful, raising their families, loving their spouses, imperfectly but actively. And I thought, this is the church. This is reality. So where I got a PhD in philosophy from Slough, St. Tim's gave me a PhD in life, the Christian Catholic life, that I can never pay. And I love St. Tim's. I love St. Mark's. When I die, I want to be at least buried from it, even though I want to be buried at home, back in Connecticut, with Hartford or New Haven, whichever. But I want to be celebrated here in some manner or other, because Timmy's is so crucial. St. Mark's, so central to my life story, my pastoral life, my religious life, my professional life, my life.